Dragon Age has dropped and the internet is going ballistic over it. Everything from people who are subscribed to Asmongold's Reddit being banned by the Dragon Age Reddit to major breakdowns on Steam where people are review bombing the game. We have videos from Asmongold and Varadark. Their channels will be linked in the description so you can go check them out and support them. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the videos.
What's happened is that the Dragon Age subreddit has banned basically everybody from commenting. Like, anybody who comments on my subreddit and then comments on Dragon Age gets automatically banned. Update, I just got auto-banned from the Dragon Age sub because I also subscribed to Asmongold. They felt I already violated community rules. Quote, it's not in the rules. My comment was regarding how long it takes to get through Inquisition's story. I think Bioware is weaponizing a new sector of marketing to control the narrative on all fronts. Well, if they're trying to control the narrative, they're doing a really, really bad job. Just tested it and got banned for this GIF. I wonder if... Okay, so what if I... It's my first Dragon Age game, and I'm curious to see what all the hype is about. Okay. What? Post is waiting approval? Am I pre-banned? Am I pre-banned? Are they in the room with us right now? Are they watching the stream? No fucking shot. Are you kidding me? Did I get banned? I can't post. I actually cannot post anymore. Within less than 1 minute, my post, I'm excited for Dragon Age. Stop right there, criminal scum. Hello, you've been permanently banned from participating in Dragon Age because you broke this community's rules due to too many repeated infractions of our civility and bigotry rules from users of this community. Asmongold, we have decided to automatically revoke access to our subreddit as a preventative measure so that our community at large can focus on actual criticisms of the game without getting involved in the war against woke culture. I have been permanently banned. Based, banned, bald. But no, what I typed is that I was excited. I'm really excited for Dragon Age Veilguard. I can't wait to play it. I feel like this is racism because, like, all of the people in my subreddit, oh wow, you know, are they saying that we're some kind of like an inferior culture? I don't know what the fuck is this. This sounds really, really wrong. This is awful. Here we go again. Yeah, what a bad generalization.
So it's now getting from bad to worst. Basically, if you have anything to do with people they just don't like, you can now be banned on online platforms. So if you are a person who listens to Asmongold's content, if you are suspected of being open to any other ideologies other than woke ideology, now they have the ability to permanently ban you and punish you on platforms just for the information that you consume or the communities that you may subscribe to. If this is not Orwellian, I don't know what is. I mean, let's look at some of the comments. Here's one comment. I usually don't complain about woke stuff, but Jesus Christ, it's fine for it to be in the game as an option, but don't slap me in the face with it. All the characters are fugly. Only thing that can save this dumpster fire are mods. Here's another one, and I think this one is just really goes hard on this situation. When you expect disappointment and you're still disappointed, Bioware needs to change their pronouns to they/were developers. Wow. Another one. DEI infested woke slop for modern audience. If you love Dragon Age series, do not buy this game in all caps. This review actually has a quote in it. It's a not recommended, and it reads, evil cannot create anything new. They can only corrupt and ruin good forces have invented or made. Token. Which is just illustrating, I guess, from one of the Token novels that basically they destroy everything that they touch. They destroy everything that good has created. This one. The series went from Dragon Age to Imagine Dragons. As a longtime Dragon Age fan, I feel betrayed, traded in for another, a new audience. This isn't a game, It's propaganda. Now, if we look at the screen from Steam, where it shows us the all reviews ratings and the tags for the game, there are some things that stand out. When I checked the game after it had come out earlier, it actually had mixed reviews. Now it has mostly positive. This is this is actually very, very concerning because this means that more than likely Valve is removing comments, or Dragon Age, the developers of the game, are going in and mass reporting and mass flagging comments from subscribers, from people who actually purchased the game, and are having those comments removed and suppressed. This is absolutely horrible. It's frightening behavior from Valve if they are allowing this to happen as well, or if they are participating in it. This is the reason why I say you have to be very, very careful with the game publishers and the game developers. Another very, very concerning thing is how it prominently displays certain factors. So this is supposed to be a game that's supposed to be for everyone. However, notice that the very first tag is they make it clear that this is an LGBTQ plus game. So, above all else, the number one demographic for this game is the modern audience and the LGBTQ plus audience. So this game is not designed for any other audience. It is specifically designed for this audience. And there's nothing wrong with that audience. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just making it clear that this is a game that was originally directed towards a different audience, and now it has been completely shifted. And I've had many people from the LGBTQ plus community who've reached out and said that this is not the game that they wanted. And it's just unbelievable. But like I said, we'd already know that reviews have been manipulated, so it's no surprise. Mostly positive. It was mixed before, and now it's mostly positive, guys. They're messing with the reviews. They're deleting reviews. You know, Elon has talked about entering into the gaming space and creating his own video games. There were even talks that maybe he could buy Ubisoft. He actually mentioned it recently that he would consider starting his own gaming studio or publisher or both, and because he really, really enjoys video games. Imagine if Elon were to create a service that is similar to Steam, or better yet, GOG, because we're moving towards the notion that we want to own our products, and it's becoming stressful where you have a site like Steam and everyone thinks Steam is so wonderful, but no one wants to acknowledge that there is a big elephant in the room. Steam is not the most virtuous of companies. There's a lot of evil happening with Steam. One, you don't actually own your games. It's a service, and you can be banned from their service and then lose access to all of those games. You don't actually own them. They're basically the equivalent of rentals. And that's why I like GOG. GOG is created by CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red has gone woke, and they are absolutely an evil company right now. However, their motto for GOG is a store that respects you. They cannot take your games away from you. Their entire business model is built upon DRM-free. Something that's frightening me right now is with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, where the developers of the game are telling you that if you install certain kinds of mods that change the battles and scenes, this is not for the multiplayer, this is for offline, you will basically be banned from the game. And if you get banned from the game, you can actually, I guess you would lose your access to the game, but not only are you banned from the game, you're banned from, you could get banned from Steam. So they're telling you how you're allowed to enjoy the game, and you're only allowed to play the game the way that they designed it. Because, of course, they don't want you to be able to add your mods in and customize things and have different experience. They want to control that, and they want to sell that to you. And that's a ton of absolute BS that goes against the very design of how computer products work. Once you own it, you typically own it, and you are legally allowed to make modifications to the product you purchase. Now they're able to tell you, if you do this, we will ban you from being able to play your damn game. So while Sparking Zero is absolutely lit, it is miserable, and it just illustrates how dangerous these companies are and how dangerous Steam as a platform is for gamers. The fact that they can go in and manipulate the reviews, change the reviews. I basically left IGN behind, and I started using Steam reviews to figure out whether or not games were worth buying or not, just looking at feedback from actual people who would go and rate the games. But now seeing, Dragon Age go from literally a very negative, mixed reviews or negative reviews now to mostly positive is an absolute and utter joke. They are 100% manipulating it. They are 100% deleting comments. We know that the developers of Dragon Age were having people banned using DMCA strikes on Twitter and other platforms who gave negative reviews for the game. So these are very, very nasty people. It got a 9 from IGN saying that it's back to form, back to form, back to form. And this is obviously something that was written by the creators of Dragon Age and sent to all the video game reviewers, woke reviewers, who then used the exact same words in every single review. This is illegal. What these companies are doing is actually illegal. 100, fixed reviews, fixing reviews, all of this stuff, it's illegal. But the problem is that no one is challenging them on it, and they have so much money that to fight them in court, it would be heck. It would be very difficult. But there are consumer watch groups out there. Problem is that a lot of these companies have also gone woke themselves. So it comes down to the consumer to begin suing companies like Dragon Age, suing companies like Nintendo, suing companies like Sony when they make these missteps. It's beyond sickening what they are doing. Let's see what Varadark is saying about this.
Everybody wants their opinions to be heard, yet they do it in the worst way possible, and that has happened with Dragon Age the Veilguard. The activists that are working on this project could not seem to keep their real lives out of the content they were creating, and now they're getting absolutely destroyed by the internet.
I just want to show you something that's very interesting regarding just how much this game is being censored in terms of the reviews. It says 922 positive reviews. So if we click on this and it takes us down, and I told you guys when I first looked at this after it came out a few hours after it came out, it was mixed reviews and there were a lot of negatives. Now look at this. Usually if a game has negative reviews, they'll all be they'll show a mixture of negative and positive reviews. Not a single negative review. Look at this. Recently posted. Not a single negative review. Not a single negative review. Notice all the games most helpful in the past day. All positives, right? All positive reviews. And then when you keep on scrolling, you see negative reviews. If you click on browse all 988 reviews, however, look at the page that you're greeted with. Look at what you see. Not recommended, not recommended, not recommended. Not recommend, guys, all negatives, everything going down, negative, 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 negative. Look at this, negative, okay? One positive, negative, negative, one positive, negative, 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 all right? One positive, negative, 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 one positive, negative, negative. So not, when I say negative, I mean not recommended, negative, 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 negative. Guys, negative. Okay, one positive, negative, 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 negative. Guys, they are suppressing the reviews. And they'll probably go in and change this later on because people will pick up on it. You can 100% see that they are suppressing the reviews and they are burying all the negative reviews on this game. This game has mostly negative reviews and they are burying the negative reviews on the game and putting the positive reviews to the very top. This is absolutely insane. This is what Valve is doing, because I don't know how else this could actually be done. I don't know how else this could have been done. And interestingly, it's all reviews, so mostly positive. They don't show recent reviews, of course, because all the recent reviews are absolutely nasty. So it just shows all reviews, because they have all reviews and recent reviews. So you can look at the recent reviews and all reviews, but they've censored the recent reviews. There's over 900 reviews at this point. So they're not going to show you the recent reviews that are all negative. They're going to carefully curate the positive reviews. But then if you look at all reviews, you'll see that most of the reviews are negative. They are lying and they are covering up just how much people absolutely hate this game. Guys, we are literally on the if you even have thoughts that go against the mainstream, you will be censored. If you listen to Asmon Gold, you will be censored. You will be banned from society. Guys, this like the people who dreamt of this type of thing, they could never realize how far it could actually go. My gosh. This is insane and it's only going to get worse. This is why people want to leave Western society. But it's only going to spread. Right now, they're actually trying to go after the anime, manga, and gaming industry in Japan. The United Nations is trying to go after them, demanding that they censor their games because it's not in the name of protecting women.
Now, over the past few months, we have been talking about Dragon Age the Veilguard and ultimately roasting it because we knew that it was going to be filled to the brim with identity politics, and because of the leaked images and videos and also the shill media reviews talking about how you can make your character trans, you can make your character non-binary, it's only solidified all of our worries. And just as a heads up, I will be streaming this game starting tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, because I want to be better than journos. Journos love to talk about games that they don't play in totality, and I think that that's unfair. And also, if there are, say, 100 of you in chat, I highly doubt you guys are going to be buying the game, meaning we are costing this company money, and that is ultimately what I want to do if this game is bad. And with all of the articles and all of the posts on social media that are going around, it also looks like they are being damaged in more than one or two ways, because we have outlets like Forbes saying Dragon Age the Veilguard's clumsy, preachy political messaging does more harm than good. We have libs of TikTok making posts about it, and it's getting millions of views. I mean, across the board, they are getting absolutely annihilated, except for by the very people that are shilling for them. Now, this is an article written by Eric Kane, one of the only decent journalists at Forbes, because he never says that you should like a piece of content simply because it pushes a narrative, which is just definitely a thumbs up at this point. We need more journos like him. He says the best way to convince someone of your own point of view is generally not to bash them over the head with a cudgel, though that seems to be the preferred approach in modern political discourse and, alas, in entertainment. The culture, being what it is, has lost all sense of subtlety. This is something that I have talked about so much when it comes to Dragon Age the Veilguard and, yes, entertainment in totality. We used to have writers who could get a message across, but in a subtle way that did not bash you over the head and wanted you to walk away with only one singular opinion. That is something that is so sad to me now, because if you look at the hero's journey, for example, sometimes you have a reluctant hero, somebody who does not want to actually play their part, who does not actually want to do these things, maybe because they feel like they cannot, that they're not good enough. And then they have to grow into that person and they have to find their selves. They have to, kind of solidify their own sense of identity, which, yes, typically is what transgender and non-binary stories are. And they can do these things in a very subtle way where people could walk out of that story taking it in many different ways. But the art of subtlety, yes, is lost now. And it is so sad to see. And it is a real shame that the developers of Bioware have also gone in this direction. I've already posted my impressions piece about the game, he says, which I've been pleasantly surprised with so far. Yeah, this is why I stream these games, because while I do not think that they're going to be particularly amazing, it's still only fair that I play them and I give them a chance because I'm talking about them, and then you guys could end up buying them if I'm having a really great time and you think it's worth your money, or you could save your money. At the end of the day, you're an adult that can do, what you want with your funds, but on the flip side, I think it's only fair that I play it. Though in his piece, he noted that so far he hadn't encountered anything overtly preachy or that one might describe, as overly woke. The game is diverse. It gives you options to play as male, female, or trans. But in my time with it, this felt mostly like giving players more choice and freedom, and I'm all about that, especially in RPGs. But he then goes on to talk about the one major clip that has been circling social media in the scene in the question below. One character misgenders another to atone for this sin. She does a set of push-ups and then lectures the other characters on how to apologize properly. This has to be one of the cringiest clips I've seen in a while, and keep in mind, Dustborn only released a couple of months ago, and we thought that that game was going to top it all, but this one is extremely bad. I'm sure you've all seen it because it's going around online, but I am going to play just a small snippet of it.
Pounding that snake's nose, she's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties, I was so proud.
Oh,
Ah, shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
This is the dialogue that they thought people wanted in their dragon fantasy game. So first of all, you should not have to apologize for misgendering somebody. Okay, that's a ridiculous concept. But this is so absurd because not only do characters have to apologize for misgendering your character, but they also, of course, use terminology in this game like non-binary, like transgender. It is fucking absurd that we are adding in modern day terms to a fantasy game. This is so not shocking, though, given the state of the industry, because so many people within it are lunatics. They are radical leftists, and this is like a religion to them. They're like a cult, right? You all have to follow their mentality. You have to use their terminology, and they do go on social media and they will cancel people who misgender. And it's like this character is feeling so bad because she's been in like this bad situation before where she knows she's hurt somebody's feelings. Boo hoo. It's such a sad thing to see in an established franchise like this, because so many people had high hopes and expectations for a game like Dragon Age the Veilguard, and it's like that all went down the toilet because they decided to hire activists. Bioware has had a lot of failures over the past couple of years with titles like Anthem and Andromeda, and I just don't see a way that they are going to recover from a game like Veilguard. And sure, I'm certain that it will sell a certain amount because of brand recognition and franchise loyalty, but I don't think it's going to do the gangbuster sales they expect. Now, maybe it will. Maybe everyone will end up loving this game. I want titles to be amazing. I want people to enjoy them, but judging by the reaction on social media, a lot of people are roasting them. Like even Elon Musk is saying things like, what a travesty. People are saying it's insane to have this in a video game. Looks like a corporate DEI training video. I 100% agree. This is the stupidest, cringiest shit I've ever seen. That's enough video games for one day. There are a lot of people out there who still do not know how infected the video game industry is.
And guys, if you're enjoying the content, please consider joining the Angry Guy Clubhouse. Inside, you'll get top-tier expat and passport bro travel tips, digital nomad guides, passive income strategies, pop culture and geek culture commentary, and hard-hitting manosphere content. Free subscribers have access to videos, podcasts, articles, and the community chat, plus receive the passive income blueprint and digital nomad blueprint just for joining. Paid subscribers unlock even more value, including exclusive guides like the How to Build an Online Business in 24 Hours ebook, wealth building blueprints, and crypto updates. Join us today by clicking the link in the description and take your journey to the next level. Let's just make it very, very clear. As consumers, these companies 100% hate us. They do not like us. They want our money, but they want to control our ability to think for ourselves and enjoy the kinds of content that we want to. They want to torment us and torture us. This is absolutely disgusting. Looking at Dragon Age Veilguard makes me want to vomit. It makes me want to vomit. And this is basically a game for Gen Z, a generation that I do not like whatsoever. The Zoomers and the Boomers, these are the people who are trying to push tyranny upon us. Okay? And I'm absolutely sick of it. Are there some decent boomers? Absolutely. Are there some decent zoomers? Absolutely. But they are far and in between. All of this hippie garbage started with the hippies, guys. Do not let the boomers run away from it. All of the kindness and crap that we learned, it came from the baby boomers. All of the community stuff where it was inserted into our media and we needed to accept it and promote it and celebrate it. It came from the baby boomers, guys. What did I used to call the baby boomers? What do I still call the baby boomers? A whole is a whole baby boomers. These people, you do not know who they are and what they were mixed up in for decades, okay? You don't know who they've been with. Oh, you think your father is this really righteous dude and Christian. You don't know what your father was doing. You don't know who your father was with. You don't know who they are. These are some bad people, just like Gen Zers are some bad muffins. The boomers are some bad apples. And they're the ones responsible for our media looking like crap right now. They're the ones, guys, who are the ones leading all of these investment companies that are pouring funds into DEI initiatives? It's the boomers. They own 80% of the stock markets. They own 80% of all the investments in these investment firms. They're the ones that are pushing this narrative so they can control us, so they can destroy us. These people are, guys, the people that are doing these things are some really, really bad people. They do not mean us any good whatsoever. These are just DEI initiatives being pushed by the boomers and the zoomers, all right? The boomers are the most corrupt generation and the zoomers are the most corrupted. And what's amazing to me, what's truly amazing to me about the boomers is these are the same people who will then sit around and say that we shouldn't be blaming them. We should be blaming people who passed away 100, 200 years ago. And yet you look and say, but which generation? Which group of people are doing these things? Who are the ones in power? It's the boomers. But don't blame us for what we're doing. It's our ancestors. It's people who were born 200 years ago, 100 years ago. People who passed away 100 years ago or decades ago. These are the people who are doing it. They're the bad ones. Where you're either a man that's filled with a lot of HATE, or you're just misinformed. You're misinformed as they're stealing from us, guys. They stole our futures. There's barely anything left. People are going through a lot of poverty right now. I'm seeing more and more deals popping up on Amazon rapidly for things like, guys, you can tell this year is not good because they've been running Black Friday deals like just week after week after week, back to back. There are products where they're like, okay, like I've been waiting to, like many of you guys know, I'm waiting to pick up a G16. Some of you guys have told me to pick up, I think it's the Strix. Like, go pick up a Strix, Angry. I prefer the G16. I've done my research. I want to get a 4070 processor. I want to get 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's gonna have an OLED display, 2 terabyte hard drive. It has a Ryzen 9 processor, 47 Ryzen 9 CPU, 4070 GPU, and I mean that's basically what I am going for. That's what I'm looking for. I think it's actually I think it's 240 hertz display. I'll see 144 hertz. I think it's actually a 240 hertz display. So it's an OLED display. It's an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Yes, I know that. Yes, I know there are things that are more powerful out there, but for me, that's what I'm looking at. And I'm hoping to pick that up later in November, maybe in mid-November, because I'm waiting to see if a deal comes up around Black Friday. But evidently with Best Buy, they have a 15-day price guarantee. So if you buy it from Best Buy and then 15 days later the price goes down, then they will match that price. So upon request. So that way that will definitely cover me. So I'm planning to pick it up like in the middle of the month. And if you guys want me to do a review on it, if you guys want me to talk about my experiences with it, the things that I like about it and don't like about it, then let me know and I'll do a product review video for you guys. But that's something you have to talk about in the comments. That's something you have to tell me about in the comments. Like, if you enjoy this, like, you have to tell me in the comments, like, hey, Angry, we actually want this. We want to, we definitely want to know more about this laptop. what you think, because like I'm really going in this direction. I enjoy talking about video games. I enjoy talking about censorship in gaming, and I enjoy talking about geek culture and geek commentary and then how this is affecting us. So I like making this kind of content, and a lot of you guys are obviously playing video games, or a lot of you are into this stuff. So if you want me to do a review on the unit that I pick up, that I ultimately end up picking up, let me know, and I'll try to make that something that I do. Many of you guys have been pretty happy that I put you on to GOG Grand Old Games, because like with Grand Old Games, like for example what they're doing right now with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, it's a great game. The developers did a great job, but they want to control your experience, and they want to ban you for if you're playing this game offline, but you modify the game experience offline. There's warning you that you will be banned from the game. Banned from the game, not for cheating, not for doing anything in multiplayer, but for how you choose to play the game offline. So yeah, this is a load of absolute crap, and that's why I like GOG, because they can't do crap to you. And that's why they don't want their games on GOG, because they want to control how you can play the game and monitor how you can play the game. Like guys, that's another thing about Steam. They are monitoring you. They can monitor if you use mods. So if you mod your game, it's none of their business how you play your game offline. You're not stealing the game. There's anti-cheat software in their DRM, so you can't replicate the game or anything. But no, they are literally monitoring how you modify the game, what you play, and how you play the game. This is extreme surveillance. They already know how many hours you play. They already know what you're doing, but no, that's not good enough. They want to know if you modify it in any way, and you change it, and what kind of mods you're using to change the experience of the game. And certain mods, so you're allowed to play the game in certain ways and mod it in certain ways, but not in other ways. And even if, and you're like, well, these are not even like mods that are like disrespectful or anything like that. It's just giving you new scenarios in the game. Yeah, we don't want you to do that. Basically, they want to control the experience so that they can sell you different experiences. These are sickos. They're absolutely sickos. None of these companies mean you any good. This is one of the reasons why I've reduced significantly my spending on Steam. I'm buying my games mostly through GOG now. I've already spent over $800 on GOG titles in the last couple of weeks, last two to 3 weeks. Roughly 2 weeks, I've already spent over $800 on GOG games. I've been building up a massive, a pretty massive backlog of games now. I have over 158. I had 218. I think it was actually 224 on Steam, and now but that was over the course of months, many months in 2024. But now I got GOG, and I'm already up to like 158 games. A lot of the games I already had on Steam, but but those are just long-term rentals. I don't actually own them. With GOG, I'm basically actually own these games, and I've been doing my research into a hard drive. So like for example, if I want to pick up a new hard drive, because I'm going to need a new one, then I know exactly what I need to do. If I want to pick up a new hard drive, I know the exact length of the hard drive. I know exactly how long I know exactly how large a hard drive should basically be. I have a background in computer science, so programming, computer engineering. And so I thought I knew some things, but until I started to get really focused on PC gaming and more active in PC gaming, I realized just how little I knew, because basically in school you learn theory, but when you start actually getting into PC gaming, that's when you learn everything. You learn the ins and outs of everything, and it's absolutely insane. So I'm going to be picking up a SanDisk external hard drive, not hard drive, SSD. And of course, I was looking at the read and write speed. So that's the bandwidth, the speed at which information can travel back and forth. And that I'm looking for one that has over, I think it's over 1,000 megabits, something like that. So I'm looking for something that has a lot of bandwidth on it, and this is going to allow me to move my games over quickly from GOG. It's going to be, I did an estimate. It's about, actually, I used Copilot to actually do it, ChatGPT, and it's going to be just like maybe under 4 terabytes of data. So I'm going to be picking up an 8 gigabyte external SSD, and that is going to basically allow me to store my games. So I actually It's a crazy amount. It'll actually take me about 36 hours. I have a 300 megabit connection, 300 megabit internet connection, but it only hits like around 240 to 250, 260. So assuming if it was like just consistent all the time, and it's not going to be, it would take me about 36 hours to back up my entire GOG library, but that's still worth it for me. So it's just, maybe I won't do it all at once, but I'll do it over like maybe a couple of days or like a week or so, and get my library backed up so that I have all of my games there. Because we're heading towards like a very apocalyptic period right now. People are broke. Every week they're coming out with like, oh, new Black Friday sales, new Black Friday sales. Black Friday is still, it's like over a month away. Like they've been doing this for weeks. Like, we had like a crazy sale on Amazon. Like they had like their own, like a cyber sale, but Cyber Monday is the Monday after Black Friday, isn't it? Oh, but and they had like this big sale. Guys, the retailers are definitely hurting right now. They don't want to admit to it, but there's definitely a major slowdown. I picked up some Beats. I used Beat Audio headphones and studio headphones, absolutely incredible. I picked them up for $269, and then right around there, and then now they're down to like 169, and let's like I just keep on getting screwed because it's like, well, if you had just waited a week, because like the week earlier they were 169. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna pick them up. I'm gonna pick up some Beats solos, and the Beats solos were absolute crap. I absolutely despise the Beats solos. They were really, really uncomfortable. They were really, really painful to wear. Those are on. I didn't know the difference between on-ear headphones and over-the-ear headphones. And Beats solos are on-ear headphones, so they actually go on your ear. Beats Studio earphones go over your ear, so they're actually larger, and they tend to be more expensive. So they had some Beat audios, Beat solos for like 99 bucks at that time. So I just like, oh, I'll grab these. They were so painful, so painful. So then I ended up sending them back, and I got a pair of Beat Solos, Beat Studios, and they've been pretty good to me. I really enjoy the Beat Studios. The only thing is that I don't like is that they don't turn off automatically. Like they can last for many days, but they do not turn off automatically. Like if the Bluetooth is on and they're connected to your Bluetooth, it's not going to happen. And these phones typically do not have a feature that allows you to just like automatically turn off the Bluetooth if it's been idle for a while. But yeah, guys, that's just the situation. I think that everyone right now that's into gaming should begin preparing to make a transition to PC, because it's pretty nasty right now. Like I said, GOG is a platform where you can get your games DRM free. You get the actual installers. It's not like Steam. They do have it. They do have a launcher, so you can there's a community. You can play your games online through the GOG launcher and everything. But you can also download your games offline, and then and typically there's no online features when you download them offline, although there could be if the developer actually offers it themselves. And this actually works again in our favor because they cannot take the game away from you. They can't just ban you from the game. You get the offline installer, but there's no license key or serial key. So, you basically can just install the game on whatever PC you have, whatever device you have. And there's no such thing as, oh, well, I need a family mode. Like, oh, Steam, like, oh, if I can pay, I can have a family mode, and then everyone in my house can access my games. Go to hell. Basically, it's like with GOG, everyone can access the games because you have the installers. So if I purchase a game and I have kids, me and all of my kids can play my damn games. There's no ifs ands about it. So that's just how I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, guys, I've just been kind of pissed off. These people are sickos. BioWare is an absolutely horrible company. They've gone to hell. It was founded by three great guys, former doctors who left. They had a passion for games. They created this company, and then EA acquired it and have basically run it into the mud. And then you have Mass Effect, the director for Mass Effect, who is telling people right even before, like a few days ago, before the game came out, before Dragon Age came out, you had the director for Mass Effect saying that these are different development studios in that are in BioWare. So just because no matter how bad or how no matter what how Dragon Age turns out, do not judge the rest of BioWare based on Dragon Age. So yeah, like do not say that you're not gonna go and buy the next Mass Effect because of Dragon Age. Like it's two different studios. It's two different It's two different development teams because BioWare is the studio that develops it, but they're different development teams in BioWare, and their development team doesn't have anything to do with our development team. It's the same company and the same toxic philosophy, and you're owned by EA. It's not the same. Listen. Just ignore it and do not compare us to Dragon Age, guys. They already know. Guys, do not pick up do not mess around with the next Mass Effect. I'm telling you right now, don't mess with it unless it comes out and then people have reviewed it. People like Vara Dark have played it. People who are not biased. I've unsubscribed from IGN. IGN can go to you know where. They're a piece of garbage company. They have the people who work for them are absolutely horrible people. It's a trash company. You cannot spell ignorant without IGN. They are liars. They are deceivers. These people need to be put in prison for what they're doing with reviews. It is illegal to do this. It is fraud. It is conspiracy. BioWare, IGN, or Kotaku, all of these companies, all right, Metacritic, they're all conspiring to deceive consumers and to silence people. If you look at what they're doing on Reddit, all right, banning people who are even associated or read Asmongold's Reddit, or you're auto banned. These people are horrible people and they need to be punished. They need to be brought to law. They need to be thrown in prison and never let out. Like they should spend the rest of their lives in prison. Y'all don't know how angry I am. Guys, many of you watch my videos and you're like, you're a happy guy. You don't know me like that. You don't know me. Okay? I'm actually beginning to post. This was like a little surprise for you guys, but I'm actually beginning to post my angry MGTO videos over in the clubhouse, and I've been posting those gradually. So I'm adding more videos over there. So if you want to go and check out my old videos, you can go over there because those are the videos where I really go into a lot of things, and many of those videos you will hear my anger. So definitely you can check that out. Those are in the clubhouse, Angry Guy Clubhouse. You can go check that out. Link in the description. What do you guys think? Because guys, this is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. They're only going to continue pushing the notion of us owning nothing. I just picked up Dead Space 2 on Steam. And like I said, I typically don't buy anything on Steam anymore. But it's not available on GOG. And the price was dirt cheap. It was like $3.99. And again, I treat all of these things like rentals. So I picked it up and it's there. But it's so funny because then they have EA Play on their advertising. And EA Play is basically their streaming video game service where it's like, $5.99 a month. But of course the price is going to skyrocket. And that's why what I've been saying is like we're going in this direction where everything will be on a subscription model. Want to watch a movie? You need a subscription. Want to play a video game? You need a subscription. Or if you want to have, or certain features will only be accessible through the subscription, or the only way to purchase the actual game will be through the subscription. Like if you look at Uber Eats right now, or if you want to purchase the game, for example, you want to purchase the game for only $60? Okay, well, you can purchase the game through the subscription and then play the game through the subscription for $60. If you don't purchase it through the subscription, then the game is going to be $79.99. This is how insane these companies are. Like that's where we're going, guys, right now. That's the next big stage where if you want to purchase your products, you will get a big discount if it's done through the subscription. But if you're not a subscriber to EA Play, you won't be able to purchase your game for $70 for $60. You'll have to pay $79.99. Like literally, a lot of the games now are actually $79.99 because they say, you have the base game and then you have the action and then you have the other game, or they're over $100. Like one game, like the base game is $60, but then the deluxe version is $79.99. And you don't actually know what the difference is between the two, so you're usually going to have to go and get the other one. Or if you do look at the differences, they'll basically put things in there where you're kind of forced to pay them. Like, extra. Sometimes it's just like cosmetics, but it's like the game could absolutely suck if you don't have those additional cosmetics, because you'll be stuck playing with the same basic cosmetics, and they do it deliberately because they want you to have less fun. These are or there'll be things like as much as additional missions, and if you don't play the additional mission, you're missing out on a lot of story, a lot of elements in the game. Like it could be an entirely other mission that can come after the core game. They're horrible people. And by the way, guys, Ghost of Tsushima, while the game is not ugly, while the visuals are good, I will say that a lot of even the characters, the female character models in the game, are absolutely disgusting. They're absolutely unattractive. And you can see that this is something that was deliberately done because they want, because even though this game was before the whole DEI crap became very, very, serious, the character models are ugly. Like, a lot of the female character models are just absolutely not attractive. It's worse now, but it just shows like how long this has been going on. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree that these people, BioWare, these developers, the people who play this stuff, the people who made this stuff, the modern audience, you're all a bunch of sickos. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.